calling him now, so I'm gonna see what he's...
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, I want to kind of make this quick because I got stuff I got to do. I'm at work right now, but I got a little time to talk. So, basically, I'll talk first and then you can tell me what you have to say.
Okay.
Basically, when she came up here, of course, she came down here. I did ignore her the first time she came, pretty much. The second time, I saw her, but we didn't hang out or anything. The second time she came, I was dumb enough to let her come to my job. Now, it wasn't a big issue. She left. It wasn't a big issue. And I'm glad she forgot where I worked. But she sounded pretty cool. Noticed she was high. You know, chopped it with got to her. You know, she talking all this. Now she talking. Long story short, I got it with her again. She asked me to pick her up. I got it with her again. And she was bugging out. She wouldn't get out of my car. So eventually I got her out of my car. When I got out of my car, I was like, I'm fucking done. I haven't seen her since. That was her since. So she's been back here for, I don't know how long.
A month or something, yeah.
Yeah, she got like a new boyfriend. She's been dealing, so she hit me up. And I'd always play good profile, like, yeah, I'll come get you. And I'd never come get her. You know, she was mad at me. Like, in fact, last time I talked to her when she was in jail, she got mad because I didn't come get her. But I'm like, you're no one I have any priority to or even care to. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't respect you enough to be like, to make sure I'm going to actually follow through.
Right.
So, long story short, you know, people are calling me, right? And her boyfriend called me. And I'm like, well, what's going on? You know, and she stole from him, you know, money and drugs. And it's because, I guess, and she also called me a couple of nights, like, before she went to jail, because I guess she was at a party around a bunch of girls. He had a bunch of girls there, and she just didn't like the way things were going. And I told her, you're living a lifestyle of a degenerate. What do you think's going to happen? You know, you're dealing with these people. You're staying up at these people. They're doing drugs. Like, do you expect people to treat you with respect? They don't even respect themselves. So she stole from him. I guess she stole, like, from his kids' bank, but she's still a dumbass having a bunch of people doing drugs over. He's got his kids there. I guess she stole his kids' money, which he has like a 7-year-old, some shit like that. I'm not giving this guy a pass, but goddamn, he's stealing from kids. You know, she stopped. I ain't gonna lie, she hasn't been talking about you, or she hasn't been talking about you to her kids. And before she went to jail, she was kind of high or something. For some reason, she wanted to be a little honest, and she admitted to me that she's like, yeah, I know I exaggerated. Randy wasn't that bad. I just, like, it was hard watching the kids while he was gone and all this other stuff. And I'm all like, you know, I didn't say anything. I said, so you have to admit Randy's actually a pretty good guy. And she said, yeah, but I always fuck up. And she started crying. You know how she does. She admitted me, and I knew. I didn't need her to admit it, but I knew that's what the case was. And yeah, man, I just want to let you know, really, she acts like the world's against her, but she likes living that lifestyle. She likes being in the streets. She likes doing drugs. She likes doing that shit. And the funny thing is, I don't even think it's about sex anymore. In the past, it used to be about sex with them. I think it's just about getting high now.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you, man.
Yeah. Well, she was over here having the cops come over and everything, searching the house, telling everybody that I had them chopped up, buried in the house. It was like, this goes deeper.
But the thing is, though, she knows that's not true. Like, she's only doing that. Yeah. Is the staff there? Yeah. Go ahead and give him $5 from Chantrell's thing. So, anyways.
Yeah, I figured it was just something to mask something that's actually going on, because I already, you know, I knew this whole time that it wasn't right, because I've been, you know, freaking recording, and it's ridiculous the stuff that I had to go through, but it is what it is. But, you know, everywhere she's going, telling people this stuff to, I don't know, some pity party or something. I don't know, but it is what it is.
You ever seen that movie? I hate to bring movie references in. I forgot what. Shutter Island.
Okay.
I think it's called Shutter Island. Anyways, Leonardo DiCaprio is a detective, right?
Okay.
And he goes to this place where it's a sane asylum for this investigation. But really, literally, you know, at the end of the movie, it reveals that he's actually an inmate, and he is so traumatized what he did because he killed his own family that he actually, like, his brain tricked himself into believing, whole different, lifestyle and all this other stuff. The reason why I bring that up, because that's what Liz did. Liz is so heartbroken. Bro, I don't even think we both know the dark shit she's done.
Right.
Like, I already told you she molested Masa. She admitted that to me. I remember one day, this is a long time ago when I was at Fairbanks with her, she was drunk and she was trying to have sex with me in front of Tatiana.
Freaking A.
Yeah, she's broken. That's why I was trying to tell you years ago. I know you were like thinking I might have been the enemy, or I was like trying to fuck with her and all this other stuff. But I was trying to tell you, bro. And it took me a while to admit it. She is a dark person. She's not a good person. She's not a good person because she wasn't brought up right, and she has two degenerate parents. Like, I don't think she's going to turn around. All this religious stuff, I knew that wasn't going to work, because I knew deep down the only way she was going to change is she opened her eyes and admit what problem she had. I actually, about 6-7 years ago, I gave her a brochure and gave her information about going to this island that a boy of mine went to. He's doing great now. He used to be hooked on drugs too. He was a degenerate for a while, but he went to this place. He went to this island for a year where you can't run off and go get drunk or anything. There's no liquor around, and you have to wake up every day, tend to the farm, do things. You have to pull your weight. He said it changed his life to where now he can be. He doesn't hang around people that do drugs, but he's smart enough to know I had to stay away from that. I gave that advice to Liz a long time ago. So you do this for a year or two, and then you realize when you get out, you got to stay away from people like that. She didn't listen, man. I really feel like she's more afraid of living a square life, like just being a wife and going to 9 to 5, or even just staying home taking care of the kids. She's more afraid of that than being on the streets, man. I really think so. I'm trying to, I ain't trying to be, I'm being real. Fuck being nice, just because I care about you as a person. I have to admit the truth. You're a degenerate person, and you like being a degenerate person. You just won't admit it to yourself.
Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So.
Look,
yeah.
I figured something like that was going to happen, because I don't know. She was trying to call me right before trial, and it was ridiculous. And there with her dude or whatever, and I don't know if whatever was inside of her was trying to mock me. And we haven't been around each other for almost 2 years, and she's still doing this. So it's just like I didn't catch on to it. So I just tried to leave it alone.
Well, when she called, last time I talked to her, she's all like, I'm judging her, and I'm like, yeah, I'm judging you. You're always going to jail. She's all like, shit happens. Like, no, I don't always go to jail. I said I stopped doing dumb shit, and I have not went to jail. I don't have problems with the law, because I don't be around people like that. And she didn't want to listen. She just, was going at me like I'm judging.
Right.
But yeah, no, I don't want to help you. There's nothing I want to help you with. Not even giving you money. I know what you're gonna do with it, and it's really looking like, from what she's saying and what the guy, her ex-boyfriend, and all that is saying, she's gonna be in jail for like 2 years, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at the charges. She got like 5 of them again, and I think they're tired of freaking going easy on her.
What was the charges? I didn't even look at
I know one was assault with a weapon, possession, damage to property, and 2 Class C felonies is what I saw in court view. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then all the stuff before that was more misdemeanors, more felonies. Like, she went in and out of jail like this past year and a half since all of this happened 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. Jail 5 or 6 times. I don't know why she thinks, like, the way she was yelling at me when I was picked her up, I'm like, you think all these, like, you think I'm your boyfriend? You think I have to put up with this shit? And she does it with these other guys.
Yep.
Like, you're tripping, girl. You act like motherfuckers are obligated to help. And she is just lost, man. She's so lost. Could she have been a better person? Can she still be? Yeah. But she has to really deep down look at herself, admit what she is, and then do a lot of soul searching. Because trying to hop the house to house to fuck with men like she's been doing, it's not going to work. Yeah,
You know, I told her that too. I told her you're just gonna wind up bringing a curse with you and every person you're doing this crap, because you're on one hand she's running around telling people that she's married to me, and then on the other hand she's moving around with dudes, and then saying these other things to try to make it seem like I was doing something wrong while she runs off.
Right.
So it was what it was, but yeah, I was just wondering if you heard that.
I want you to know, I never truly believed what she was saying about you. Never. Because I'm smart enough to know one thing, there's two sides to every story. Another thing is, so he's this bad of a person, but yet he keeps coming back to you? That makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not dumb. So, the time she called where y'all were arguing, I never was like, oh, see, he's a bad person. Blah, 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 blah. Never said that.
Yeah, that was that other part of her trying to use manipulation. Like, I caught on to that a while. She'll say a story to one person, and then if I go and try to get the story, are you trying to make fun of me, or are you trying to cause trouble? So I knew that, because that was the response every time. So I knew that something wasn't being told. So I knew for a while. I was just wondering if she was ever going to say something. But after this, you know, this almost 2 years of like this, and then I just... I'm trying to just forgive her and not try to freaking like be mean. You know, I'm not chasing her. I wasn't chasing her. You know, she was doing what she was doing. And
well, did you ever? I'm gonna ask you a question. Didn't you ever want to talk to me back in the days? Like what did she say about me?
She always brought up something about how she said she would never talk to you again because you wouldn't take one of the girls or something. But I didn't. I knew she wasn't telling me the whole story. And just that miscellaneous stuff about her trying to have two dudes and all of this other, just nothing I even wanted to hear, because it was like, you're with me and you want to talk about two exes at the same time. I barely even talked about mines in front of her. Very rarely. Like, I thought it was, you know, that's to me disrespectful. Unless you're trying to talk about it in like an adult manner, but it was never in an adult manner. It was always like, are you comparing me to this or that? Or would say stuff like, I wish I never came here, which in my ears, in my eyes, saying, you wish you never met me. Oh, I didn't say that, but you did.
Right.
So.
It was always her, though. I mean, I was a good dude to her, bro. Like, you know, when we first met, it was about fucking and all that shit. And I was a player. I was just doing my thing back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But she kept sticking around. I wasn't like hitting her up. She kept hitting me up, right? Because I had a lot of pussy back then. I was doing a lot. Then I started dealing with her, and I kind of, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't have a healthy relationship with women when I was young. You know, and I'm not bragging around here. I'm just telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I received head before I kissed a girl. I looked at women more of just an object than actually somebody you're supposed to respect. So I didn't really date when I was young. I just had say, like, you weren't giving me that, I wasn't fucking with you. You know, that's the way I had back then. So I didn't really grow up healthy myself when it comes to it. So when I got to a point where I was like my mid-20s, early 20s, I started wanting to be in a relationship, but I didn't know how to go about it right, because I never really was in one. So instead of thinking, okay, Liz is the same way, she's broken, she doesn't really know what she's doing either, I started listening and believing some of the shit she was saying, like, you know, if you let me out, I'll take care of you. You know, if you let me out, I won't cheat. All this stuff. You know, because in her mind it's like, I don't love you, or I don't say I love you enough, and if I did, then things would change. So I actually was dumb enough to believe her. So, long story short, you know, we were together. She cheated. I cheated. I didn't really even count. I didn't even get mad back then, because I still was messing with other women. I know she was messing with other men, and the reason why I never committed to her, because I knew to my first man, I felt like something was off, like she wasn't telling me stuff, and I found out she was smoking crack. So when she got over that, it's funny, when I first met her, alcohol wasn't even her thing when I first met her. She wasn't drinking and getting berated like that. She would just get high off of dope, and she'd blow her money on dope. So she was just really irresponsible with her money. But besides that, I didn't deal with the issues with alcohol until she got a little older. So, like, dealing with her for years, I knew then, like, oh man, this is unhealthy. But I also thought she could change. Like, I don't know why, but I thought she could change. I thought because she was young, this and that. I thought she'd be, because she, you know, you didn't admit this, but when there's times she showed glimpses of being a good woman. You know, a good woman, a good wife, whatever the case is. But now that I'm older and I understand what a healthy relationship is, and I started realizing that years ago, you know, because even when like you guys first started dating and she was talking about leaving you for me and all that stuff like that, because I was stupid enough to get an apartment. I'm going to keep it real with you, Randy. Like when I was working at the mine, I made a lot of money. I got an apartment because she said she was going to come move away. And this is before y'all had any kids or anything like that. I was dumb enough.
I remember.
Yeah, she never did. And I knew that was almost a camera book. Like, fuck this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So every other time after that, I would be like, yeah, I want you to stay with me. Yeah. I was never serious. I just want to let you know that after that, I never trusted her, believed she would actually go through. So I would say things like, yeah, I would help you out. You can come with me. But I never really meant it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So ever since then, I guess that was a long con. I could have cut her off and stopped dealing with her. But I also thought, well, maybe she'll change. And then there's the point I thought, well, we're not going to be together, but at least we could be friends. I mean, all that's gone now. I don't feel that way anymore. So even about 5-6 years ago, I never really wanted to be with her. But I was like, I want to be friends with you. Hopefully things will work out. I want to get to know Randy because I knew you were a good dude. But, you know what happened, man. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but, yeah, man. Lloyd tried. You tried. I just, once I knew you guys, especially Lloyd, somebody like Lloyd was done, I knew then, okay, there ain't no helping you, because y'all had way more patience than I did, because when I moved up to Fairbanks, she told me to move up there, and I ain't gonna lie, now that I'm older, if I would have saw what I experienced now back then, I would have got my car, turned right back around, and took that long drive right back to Anchorage. This woman, when I first get there, the first thing she did, I brought her a gift too, native art thing, cost me like $120. She was like, thank you. Like, and just put it down. Didn't say she loved me. Didn't show really any affection. It was like, oh, you're here. Good. Let's go to the store. I should have known then that I made the mistake going there. Right. But I think she fell in love with me and went to Anchorage. So she only wanted me as company. So we were supposed to be together, you know. We were having sex all the time at first. But I started gaining weight. I'm going to keep it real. I wasn't exercising because she always wanted me around. I didn't know anybody. So when I started trying to go to the gym, when I started trying to, she would start complaining. And I knew then she was sabotaging me. She didn't want me to lose weight. But she didn't want to be with me either. So there's a point we're living together and we're just damn near roommates. I say, go ahead and fuck that military guy. I watch the kids. You know, I care about the kids. So go ahead and do your thing. But I'm going to do my thing too. So after a while, I started going on dates and I started fucking with these chicks. Then she got mad at me and she started hating. She picked up the phone one day out of the shower. It's like, you know, we're still together, right? Just hating. And I knew then, I'm like, this bitch is just a miserable bitch. Don't want no one. She wants to have two men. That's why when she was talking about the two men thing. Yeah, I remember her telling me that. She said she wished she could have me and Ron at the time when she was messing with Ron. Me and him at the same time. I'm like, bitch, no. So, yeah, man, I should have never went there. If I could do things over again, I would have cut her off a long time ago.
Right.
She obviously never got her shit together. And I was hoping you two would work out. I told her, I was like, listen, I'm happy for you. Because she was happy with you at first. And I'm all like, I hope it works out between you. But I kept telling her, you need to stop calling me, though. I said, stop calling and complaining to me. No man likes that. Calling your ex complaining about the current relationship. That makes you look bad. And if you really want the relationship to work, stop doing that. Of course, she never listened.
Right.
So I'm just letting you know that I was telling her to stop calling me years ago. Yeah, I probably could have really put a kibosh on it and actually blocked her and stopped. But I told her a long time ago, I was trying to give her advice. Stop calling me. Go to church with him. Dedicate yourself. But, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking time out of your day. And I didn't know anything, too. And I was telling my aunt because I just kept dreaming about her. You know, nothing like crazy, like strange.